And we are now live.
Perfect. Good evening and welcome to the June 3rd, 2024 meeting of Litchfield Board of Selectmen. This is the meeting that we would have held last week, but for the holiday, Memorial Day. So it's been postponed to this week. So we've come out of a paperwork session and we would like everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. So, all right. So, Mr. Lynch will be back in a minute. He had to run to his truck, but we'll start without him. Up first, we have the review and approval of consent items. We have an AP manifest for May 21st, 2024, in the amount of $63,042.04. For May 28th, 2024, in the amount of $55,435.59. And for June 4th, 2024, in the amount of $538,492.73. We have a payroll manifest for May 23rd, 2024, in the amount of $57,372.06. For May 30th, 2024, in the amount of $54,625.09. And for June 6th, 2024, in the amount of $66,018.88.
It's my life right now.
We have the communications received since May 14th, 2024. Everybody get to see those? We have an appointment form of Gail Musco, approved May 13th, 2024. We have Litchfield School Payment Schedule, July 1st through December 1st, 2024. We have the Aaron Cutler Library sign request for June 5th, 2024, approved internally. Purchase order for utility assessing contract with George Sansucci in the amount of $33,500. Timber tax levy for MAP 2 Lot 8 in the amount of $21.72. April 2024 Treasurer's Reconciliation. And a purchase order of Fences Unlimited in the amount of $12,378. Is there anything anyone would like removed or to discuss?
Nope.
Nope, hearing none, we'll entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion that we approve the consent as read.
Approved for Mr. Brunel,
I will second that.
second from Ms. Queenan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. Request for additional items, other business.
None.
Hearing none. Public input will occur no earlier than 6:45 PM. And since it is 6:51 PM, we'll open it up to public input.
Aye, no one's here.
Seeing as there are no members of the public present, we will close public input at 6:52 PM. So up next, we have a public hearing, appropriation of unanticipated funds. Pursuant to RSA 31:95-B, the Selectmen will discuss acceptance of $12,378 from the purchase of an easement by Eversource and consider reappropriating the funds for the brickyard fencing per the agreement. Are there any members of the public that would like to discuss this? Hearing none. We will close the public hearing at 6:53 PM. That was good.
May I ask a question on that?
Sure.
We had somebody from the public come in concerned about the fence in the past. This is that payment, right?
Yes.
Correct.
In case she's watching.
Yep, and the fence is up. Yep.
Fence is up, yeah, it's all.
It looks really nice.
After the
from what I've
fact,
been
right
told.
now, we're dealing with.
Yeah, but I want to make sure that she was aware.
Yeah, she lives there. She would
Yeah,
have seen
I
it.
Okay,
She's
public
after the
knows.
fact.
Yes.
So we received the payment
Yeah.
from Eversource, this past warrant article. You need to accept the unanticipated funds
Yep.
And we will then in turn pay Fences Unlimited,
Mhm.
the $12,378.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept $12,378 from the purchase of easement by Eversource and reappropriate the funds for the purchase of the fence.
And this is all about the Brickyard ball
Yes.
field, correct?
Correct, yep.
Yeah, Scott in his fields.
We have a motion for Mr. Gannon,
Second.
second for Mr. Brunel. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. And I did hear about the fence going up at the last budget committee meeting. A member mentioned it to me, that the fence went up and it looked nice.
Kindness or,
It was in kindness.
He was asking if it was gonna get done, and they
Yeah.
were there probably the next morning.
is it plastic or wood?
It's wood. It's a cedar fence.
Just like it is.
Okay, well, good for another 10 years. We'll start over again.
Now, I believe they also put a gate down
Yep,
at the end so they can get
they
into
can get
the
in now, yeah.
area
Well,
without.
they have to, yeah.
Yep.
To keep them,
So up next, we have the approval of the minutes for May 13th meeting, and we discussed previously that we were going to table those so everyone could read them and go over them and come up with suggestions or concerns. Okay. So up next, we have approval of 2 hawker and peddler applications. Has everyone had a chance to look at those? And does anyone have any questions?
So
It's-
both of these are for power home
Yep.
remodeling.
Mhm.
And both of them have had the required background checks. So
Yes.
staff's recommendation is
Mhm.
I'll step out for a second. Hold on.
Do we need 2 separate motions? Or
No, I think we just do one. We can group them
The
together.
same company.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
can group
I'll
them
make a
together.
motion to accept the Hawkers and Peddlers vendor license for Power Home Remodeling for William C. Sparks of Billerica, Mass. And Jack R. Bolin from Acton, Mass. Good for starting for 2024. These are for a year, right?
Yes.
And
for a
ending,
year.
yep.
Ending 5/20 or 4/20/2025.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Gannon, a second from Mr. Brunel. Any further discussion?
I just have a question. Why does the begin date say April 20th, 2024?
So,
Just wanted to understand.
that's when they actually filed.
That's when they filed the
Okay.
permit.
But they, of course, we have to wait for the credit check, the background checks,
Checks, yeah.
to come in.
I wasn't sure if that was a
Yeah.
typo.
And I think this, the way we're doing
Thank
it
you.
now is better, where these people are already cleared and checked out before it even comes to us,
Right.
rather than doing it after, so it's a much cleaner system, so. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 400. As Mr. Lynch had to step out of the room for a minute, take a phone call. Up next, we have board commissions and appointments and reappointments. So, Ms. Kleiner, what do you have here?
So I was contacted by Marion Colby,
Mhm.
Chair of the Heritage Commission.
Mhm.
They voted on May 16th to recommend Corey Flint of Litchfield as an alternate member for a term to expire March 2027. They did interview Mr. Flint
Yep.
on May 16th.
Okay. Yeah, very good. You know what, he's been around a lot, and they seem to be very active in the community. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
Does
I agree.
anybody have any concerns or questions? Okay, so we'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to recommend because the Heritage Commission recommended Corey Flint of Litchfield as an alternate member for the Heritage Commission, term to expire March 2027.
Motion from Ms. Queenan,
Second.
second from Mr. Brunel. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 500. Mr. Lynch is back.
Sorry, but
That's okay.
it was personal.
Yep.
I'm dealing with hospitalization.
Yeah, that's fine. Up next, we have special event permit for the 4th of July. All right, Ms. Kleiner, what do you have?
This is a special event permit that we've discussed previously. Chief Nickel did let us know that he believes he will have enough CERT members to
Good.
assist with the road
Awesome.
closures for the 4th of July permit. The parade will start at 10 a.m. with lineups at 9:30 down by Hidden Creek. And it will continue as shown on the map before you, right through to Liberty Way. Chief Jones has let us know that they will have police coverage at the event. The applicant has agreed to pay for the assigned police control, and we want to make sure that the permit is contingent upon a certificate of insurance.
And this is all that we approved this at the last meeting contingent upon the
Yep,
conditions.
it's no Trump signs, right? I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. After this weekend, as I drove by, it was amazing. A whole bunch of them.
Does anyone have any questions, concerns, comments? All right, hearing none, we'll entertain a motion for approval.
Well, didn't we already approve it, though?
I think it was contingent upon
Cert.
CERT.
Yep.
And we said we'd come back to
Correct.
you
Yep.
the beginning of June. So-
I make a motion, we approve it.
Contingent on insurance, proof of insurance, and payment of,
That's part of the
Detail work.
process, she has that already.
So we have a motion for Mr. Lynch,
I'll second.
a second for Ms. Queenan. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. Up next, we have application for the use of the town sign. Ms.
A
Kleiner?
little confused.
So this is from Ms. Flint, the
Okay.
organizer of the 4th of July parade.
Mhm.
She would like permission to use the town sign on Albuquerque and Hillcrest for the parade. So she's asking for the first day for the
Just me, yes.
sign to
Steve.
be June 28th, and then it to be taken down the day.
Rec commission guys are all the same.
July 5th.
Okay. Do we see any conflicts with that at all? I don't
I
think
do
there's any,
not
right?
have
Yeah.
any conflicts at the
Okay.
moment.
I have the application for the use of the sign, and then went over that, and that's what we're talking about now, right?
Yes.
Thumbs up.
I think I'm confused a little bit. What's the second one in the same PDF?
I understand what you're saying.
What's that? The
The
picture?
car show, is that just, that's a separate one, right? They just seem to be in the same PDF, I'm just questioning.
Well, I haven't
is
got
there
that
a
on
car
mine.
show the same day? Because it looks like there's
There
a
is
car show.
So maybe it's just in the same PDF.
That's
Separate
the,
entity, okay.
It's, who's
The
putting
car
on,
show is at Dara Pond,
and the rec commission probably.
is
has
that
that.
separate from this, or?
and that she just had that as, that's letting us know to put on the sign the parade and the car show.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Now
that's
I'm with you.
confusing.
Okay, and they've cleared the car show with the rec commission, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not
Right.
surprised.
good.
Yeah, they've been working with the Spirit of Litchfield Subcommittee.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome.
Very good.
All right. Do we have a motion for,
I make a motion, we allow them to use the sign.
okay, we have a motion for Mr. Lynch,
Second.
second for Mr. Brunel.
Thank
Any
you, John.
further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. Okay, up next, we have metal detection permit approval prior to ordinance.
Okay, Bob, explain this to me.
I can't see it, I can't see it.
If you can't
Can't see
see
it.
it,
That's
Yeah,
okay, but
we
you can
can't
just
see
tell
it
me.
either.
We can,
it is shared with the Board of Selectmen,
okay, that's okay.
but
Jordan
it's
Fletcher?
not public, because it has,
Really? I think I used to work with him.
Is this on
So-
town land that we're talking about that are already there doing it?
this is, so.
Okay,
if you-
case laws, I understand.
If you think back to the public hearing for the metal detection ordinance, there was a young man that was here with, Mr. Callaway.
Yep.
He was speaking about how he was working with the Historical Society
Mhm.
on his senior project.
I remember him.
And he has dug in 2 places already, and has done a nice job.
I went back and I watched the meeting
Mhm.
because the individual was approached by someone who told him that he needed to come and get a metal detection permit,
Who was that? Who approached them?
a member of the community.
Narrow it down.
I,
Okay.
so I went back to watch the meeting because the individual believed that at that public hearing, the board had given their approval.
Yep.
And after watching the meeting, I agree with the young man
Mhm.
that the board did indicate.
Yep.
So I believe he is being watched, or at least assisted by the Historical Society. And I believe he's turning over anything that is found as part of his senior project. I think this is different, and I'm not sure that it requires the same permitting, since it was prior to the ordinance, literally,
Correct.
prior to the adoption of the ordinance. And I agree that if I was a young man, I would think that he
And this
was
is still
approved
part
that
of the
evening.
senior project?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
okay.
He's done with the senior project, right?
Yeah, and he's been out there twice. He's done a fantastic job. Not just, I seen him, I stopped by, saw what he's doing. Fantastic. I wish there's more,
Right.
okay, because I don't know if he found any bones yet, I asked. Because he was in the old grave sites, okay? But when he's all done, looks like lawn. It's a good job.
So he reclaims it.
He cleaned it up nice, and I can't ask for anything better than this. I think anybody who wants to go in and do that type of stuff on historical land and may find something, dealing with the Historical Society as part of the approval, okay?
Yeah.
And dealing with them after is what they find is fantastic. Okay?
I think it meets the spirit of
It
the
does.
ordinance that you put in place. But I do think it was pretty clear that night to me that he had
Yeah.
received that approval.
Yep.
So I just wanted to clarify that the board was agreeable with that.
Thank you.
And,
The
and
areas in which they dug were close to the stone that's there now. It used to be part of the cornerstone for the old grave site, and they're in that site now. It's fantastic. Not going deep, it's all above. But the ferry used to come across there years ago.
Yep.
Okay, so they're in that same zone. So it's working great. Whatever they find, I'm happy.
And my understanding is he was down on the property that the town owns that is being leased by McQuester.
So there's not a process problem, you're just saying, somebody made a complaint, and we're just trying to get clarification, we had given them the
That he had
permission,
already
Okay.
received
because I can't see it here, it's
approval by
just,
the board.
it's Google Drive.
Yes.
I'm sure we know where the complaint
So,
came from.
so no
okay.
action, this is more information.
What the hell is
Yes,
Google?
I just want to make sure that you agree.
I agree.
And you know what, I give him a lot of credit for coming in and filling it out. We did approve it that night, so he was in the clear, but just
He's
doing
part of the
this ties
state.
up all the loose ends.
If I remember, he's part of the state system too, as well. Oh, am I
No, that's
talking about?
Somebody else.
Yeah.
That's somebody else, yeah. No, he's a high school kid.
This is a high school
was here with-
student, which is
Well,
why
whoever they are,
I
I went down and looked. I didn't ask too many questions because they did a great job of doing what
Yeah.
they're doing.
This is separate. This
Yep.
is-
So,
And
oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
that was separate, the other guy that was here with.
But what about in the future, does he have to get a permit if he does it again? He was, and I'm sorry, I was 100 meetings that year, but
Yeah.
was that just to do
He
his,
will be doing it periodically through the summer
On
and
and
the
off.
fall, and then submitting it for his.
he'll submit new paperwork?
Doesn't the permit last for a
He's
year?
assuming this one that we gave him back then applies to the future? I thought that we,
Well, yes, he was assuming that it meant until his project was done.
it was done. His senior project was done.
He's still a senior, he's still working on it.
Oh, he's still working on it? Because I
Yeah.
thought he came to the Historical Society, showed us some of
No,
the
I
work.
believe he graduates next year.
Okay, all right.
I
Really?
was a senior for 4 years in high
So these
school.
permits are good for 1 year?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
So,
it's a one-year.
no.
permit.
and
So even if it wasn't for a senior project, he'd
He'd still have to
out
come
the
back.
permit.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Right.
He did his thing.
So as of May of next year, he's done.
I gotta agree, they did a very professional job. Like any other group would do something like that, or when the state came down and did stuff like this.
Yeah.
Same procedure.
Yep.
So it was very clean and not digging a hole and walking away. They did a nice job.
He's a very respectful.
Do we have to make a motion to approve this, or?
We should.
All right. I'll make a motion to approve Jordan Fletcher of Horizon Drive for metal detection permit, starting 5/12/2024, ending 5/12/2025, for the fields, mostly river access and behind church, to find historical items and donate some to the museum.
Very good. We have a motion from Mr. Gannon,
Second.
second from Mr. Brunel. Any further discussion?
I just, and I have not been to the Historical Society meetings in a while, because I had the 100 meetings last year, so, they're doing a survey over there, right? Aren't they doing an
Yes,
archaeological?
they're doing
dig over
the
there?
second phase of the archaeological
Yeah.
survey.
Correct.
It's the same property?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so I haven't kept up with the Historical Society. in a
I will
while.
just say they're the same property that I plowed many times as a youth.
So,
Yeah, and the survey is going to help identify more.
The grave site in relation to what they
Yeah,
turned
yeah,
across
more-
the
More
street.
in-depth and more,
Correct.
more clearly what's over there.
so you're saying he's gonna return some of the artifacts, and I don't know if it's the same.
Well, the policy states that he has to return anything worth, I think, value or historical
Yeah.
significance.
And I can clarify for him that he should, check with Mr. Callaway
Steve's a
on
familiar with it.
anything that is found.
He's very
And
familiar
could
with
also
Sure he will.
reach out to him, clarify that he should,
I'm
for the
sure
time
he
being,
will.
staying away from, where they're doing the archaeology.
it. If you find a metal ball about this big, keep it. It's called a
That was my only
musket.
concern, but I haven't been to those meetings in about 6 months, so.
Just saw someone
like a-
post out on Facebook, they found some, musket balls.
Yes, they did. Adam found some,
That's what it is, yeah.
okay, and he's found some, he's got permission to go to other people's land and do stuff. And he's found all kinds of older stuff that we're not familiar with, and it's amazing. I have to agree with him. He's done well. This kid is, he's doing well.
Good on that alley.
Yes, he was very respectful, he asked
Go
for
there.
permission, he did a good
Oh,
job when he did his project.
He did.
Jordan, we don't need
Yeah,
to divulge on that.
Jordan did, yeah.
yeah, Jordan did, yeah, he's a good
I won't
kid.
go there.
Next topic.
Sorry, Bob.
That's all right.
Next time I'll be better.
All right, so just my own clarification, the word some, but there, again, a lot of policies here.
Well,
Just speak to
I'll
the history.
clarify
yes,
all.
he'll,
'Cause I'm
I'm
not
sure
sure the
he'll
land
present
we're
everything
talking
to
about.
historical and,
Adam is off-site compared to town land. That's all I can say right now.
Thank you.
so, all right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. Thank you, Jordan. Up next, update on Clean Fleets grant approval to expend funds. Ms. Kleiner.
So.
Oh, we bought a truck.
You came in through the parking lot tonight, you
Yes.
saw our
Big white
new
truck.
truck. This is the vehicle that we received a grant for, so the grant is paying 80%, the town is paying
Beautiful.
20%. It's roughly a $300,000 vehicle.
Yep.
And so 60 of it will come out of the Public Works Fund. Unfortunately, this is a reimbursable grant. So the town needs to pay the invoice within 30 days.
Mhm.
We need to then destroy the older truck, which
Yep.
is the 99, and road agent, Mr. Brown, has already worked with a vendor who is willing to do that. The state is willing to accept that. the state has the option of coming down and viewing that if they choose. So we will take the paid invoice, the paperwork from the destruction of the 1999 vehicle, and submit it to the state, and then get reimbursed. The grant was approved by the executive council. We received the notice to proceed a couple weeks ago, and then the dealer let us know that they had the truck. So Mr. Brown went up this morning.
Yep.
So it is a wonderful vehicle for the town to receive for $60,000.
I saw it today, I think it's perfect.
So we are
Sure.
looking for approval from the board to pay the invoice, which you have in front of you. It is, roughly $299,865.
75.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Which we will pay and then
Yeah.
get reimbursed
Yeah.
the 80%.
And for the members of the public that aren't familiar with this truck is fully stocked. It's fully loaded for everything. The plows, the sanders, the whole 9 yards.
Yep,
The
it's a
spreader,
hook
everything.
lift, so instead of being a permanently mounted sander or permanently mounted dump,
Yep.
it's a hook lift and it could easily pick up whatever item they're gonna be using that day,
Yep.
including moving.
Swapping the bodies and everything else.
Including moving, containers for like, the waste department.
Which Kevin told us about that today, which
Yep.
was an added
It
bonus.
has a
We can help
flexible,
them move some
it's
stuff.
flexible in the amount of use, not just a dump truck.
Good
Very
utility.
flexible.
Well, it'll save us money instead of having them come and pick up the containers with the,
Yep.
with this, I think it's the metals and the glass, and we
Two-
can take them up there now ourselves.
Two of the
small-
members already have their Class CB license, and
Yep.
the last one will be attending in July.
Yeah, all full-timers have to have their CDLs, so, yeah. So, great. So can we have a motion to accept,
Move the payment
approve?
of
So-
$299,865.
I'll make a motion that we approve the payment for $299,675 to, HP Fairfield, with the understanding that $239,900 are coming from the Clean Fleet grants,
Okay.
to offset, and then that results into $59,775,000 coming
You got
from
it.
the operating budget.
That's good. Very good, John.
The public works.
Public Works
Public Works
Fund.
Expendable Trust Fund,
Public
yes.
Works
Thanks for the
Expendable Fund.
clarification from the beginning, you went, ooh,
So at no taxes to the people.
that's the
Taxes,
point.
Which is the big.
I'll
thing.
second it.
Second from Mr. Lynch.
For $60,000, we have a 15, 20-year truck. So-
Yep. We have a $300,000 truck.
Better than an electric car.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 500.
All they do is burn out.
When do we get the next one?
We want to put in another request for next spring.
Yep.
Do it.
So up next, we have town administrator and selectmen reports.
Is there a town administrator?
Yep.
Okay.
So the big news, the bulk of the work was the new website launching last Thursday. We're asking if anyone has any changes, or suggestions that they email town hall. There was a new agenda policy due to the website that was sent to all the boards and commissions. We're asking for 48 hours notice, in order to get those posted according to state law. Our next project is the C-Click Fix module.
Glad you said it, not me.
Want to explain that one?
And that is the part of, it's a module of Civic Plus that will allow residents to see something, report it, allow staff members to track those requests and respond right to the residents. Or it could be an internal request same, policy. So that's, where many people are using the QR codes now. This is just a section of the website that makes them easy to be able to submit a form right through the website and us to track those.
And then when it's resolved, they get notification, so it closes the loop.
Yes.
Perfect.
So, that's a smaller project than the website. You know, it should be up.
Less people involved.
It
So-
should be up in about 6.
As a board member, training is responsible. I need to get some training on this. I'm not an IT person, or I have no love for computers, but I need to learn it. I can come in and see you and you can show me how to do it?
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Anytime.
because I am totally lost.
So we had a cert update from the chief, on an additional flagger class will be held. If anyone's interested, please contact the fire department within the next week. They need to have an accurate number.
Yep.
We held a leadership meeting, last Wednesday. We discussed budget and CIP submissions. And I wanted to update the board that the chief of police is working on a police department submission. You know, very preliminary, just construction costs, no soft costs included, 4.6.
Is that for an addition or a building?
That is to,
Add
build
on.
here on the fire department, the pad that was created when the
So a
fire
new build,
department
a
was
new
built.
build.
Right, but it shares a lot of,
Addition.
Well, because there was always discussion about
It'll share the
adding on
kitchen.
versus a new building and,
well, it's an add-on to, it's the original design for the fire station was to be an L with the police station, but we
Yeah.
cut the project in
but they were
half.
talking about building onto this building.
Oh, yeah, not this building,
Oh,
it's
no,
it's
no,
across the
no.
street.
No
Fire
discussion about adding on to here at all?
No, there's,
That's actually a better number than I thought for a build.
well, you haven't seen the
But
soft
there's no
costs
soft
yet. There's no soft costs, that's the, we're trying to pull those numbers.
Very
in, but no.
soft on the soft costs.
Um,
please.
It's a
but-
police station, it's not gonna be soft.
It makes sense because they can share the kitchen there, they
So-
can share the community room space, they can, I mean,
It actually is finishing what was supposed to be the original design.
But on the other side of that discussion, that section over here is gonna be what? in the future?
Probably town offices, I would say.
So you
because-
had more community space, you won't be using that over there. I'm looking at two sides to this. You add on to what you need to put in here.
Mhm.
But then you have your meeting room, which has to be expanded, probably two in all, okay?
so there's significant times when,
Both parties have to be addressed.
right.
Mhm.
I mean, we need space for,
I know you do.
I would think of moving the building.
Yeah.
Because that finance area is very crowded.
I understand that.
So-
When we designed this building, and I was part of the group that did it, my name is on the plaque.
Why is there no basement?
Pardon me?
Why is there no basement?
At the time,
I know, why?
At the time, it was not, it got into discussion with fire stuff, okay? And most buildings don't really have a basement per se, large buildings, they just got a first floor. And in this building here, we looked at the possible expansion, police and town hall. Plenty of room over here to go for the town, plenty of room over there to go for the police, still in the same place. As a basement, that's a derogatory sense, you know what I'm saying? It's a place to put store stuff we don't need. You do that all the time in our own homes.
Well, government, we have to store a lot of stuff.
Away.
Yep.
I'm just looking at, I understand what they did over there, and I'll be the first to tell you, I wasn't a fan of it. Because I thought about this being, going this way and this going that way, being both connected, okay, back when I discussed it, in the 90s. But today, things have changed, and I understand things change. So that's my whole point, okay? I believe You gotta look at both perspectives.
Again, the perspective back when they did the assessments in the past, it made more sense because of what the expansion on this side and what we needed from a town perspective was to build a police station on site, but over there and make it part of a public
At
safety
the time
complex.
of that
Complex,
discussion
yeah,
for that, I
Right.
won't argue
Supposed to
that.
be a whole
Right.
safety complex.
So, yeah, and again, like you said, there's shared resources that'll be there that both police and fire can leverage and use. It resolves a lot of shortcomings of this building and its original design without changing the footprint all that much, right? We'll be able to expand town offices onto this
Oh, there's
side,
no doubt about going there.
and I think it's gonna drastically change what the footprint looks like. and
Put the
it'll divide
administration
the
down
work.
there and tax department over here and everything else in the middle.
Whatever, yeah.
Well, I'll be very curious to see what he brings forward.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My point of view.
So, other than that, there is a request, for paving the transfer station and the, highway department. And that is significant.
Yep.
So a little over 260,000. But it is getting to be a pretty dire need, so, that'll be brought forward, and I haven't received any others as of yet. We did have quite a discussion on budget, and I think there's some significant staffing concerns. The, Joint Loss Committee, every year, there's a report that gets filed with Primex, which offers the town a discount on its insurance. The joint loss, program needs to be revamped. I'm very, very thankful that Vicki Vark, our, library, director, has been working with me. She's agreed to step up as the chair of the joint loss. We spent a significant amount of time this past week working with Primex on the changes that need to be made to that program. So we will have a lot more information coming to the board. She's putting together her first meeting with Primex and employees on June 12th. But we will be writing a whole new safety program to come to the board.
So what does joint loss mean? I've never heard of that at any meeting in the past. A joint loss committee? So what is that?
I didn't know when I came to the town that you had one. I'm familiar with it from my last municipality. It's meant to be an employee and management, so you have both represented, but it's supposed to allow employees a place to notify or bring up what they would consider safety hazards in their workplace. And how do they do that, and how do they express those? And how do we ensure that our employees are getting the proper training that they need to perform their duties safely?
Seems a strange name, doesn't it? Joint loss.
Yeah, I understand what
So
you're saying.
joint
It's
meaning
not uncommon.
management and
Okay.
staff.
Most towns have the same communication skills, joint loss. Okay, and it's a.
It's a
all-
proactive thing, so
Yeah,
it's not
it
like,
is.
It
Okay.
is.
I hear loss and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
I know.
all right.
Except our document right now, I think was done prior to there being an emergency management director. So some of the reporting functions in the document have now really been replaced by the emergency management director.
Yep.
And we should go back and reflect that, because it wouldn't be the joint loss bringing it to the board or to the TA. some of those should really go to emergency management, or the fire chief. So it just needs updating. It's an older document. So, and we're thankful Primex is gonna come down and work with us on that.
Joint losses have been
great.
around for a while.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we're very thankful that Vicky has.
Yep.
stepped in.
Thank you, Vicky.
She's wonderful, and very, very knowledgeable on a lot of things other than library services. Stormwater, MS4, so here we are back again on this conversation, which we are under EPA mandate. We met, the planning board had a work session a couple weeks ago. There was a individual, a contractor from town, that came forward with an engineer and, legal counsel. And they suggested some changes.
I concur.
We've also had, Mr. Mankara from NRPC review it. I think we can get to a place where we all agree, although there are some pieces of that ordinance that are going to have to stay. So we may not be able to significantly satisfy all of the concerns that were addressed at that work session. There's just some pieces of it that are permit related that have to remain. So now that we've got everyone's input, it will go back to planning tomorrow night.
I'll be there tomorrow night for that.
Was the town more stringent? Is that what's staying?
Correct.
Your existing policy
A little more
called
stringent.
for 15,000 square feet,
Yep.
and EPA is anything less, greater than an acre.
Yep.
So we had brought this forward, our consultant, and we had said, why do we want to do anything less than an acre if that's not what's required by the EPA?
That's correct.
Why?
Stick
But it
to
was
us.
because your existing regulations already called for that. So, and when we first spoke with the planning board, they wanted to keep in
Yeah.
check with our existing.
Yep.
And we said, but you're creating a great deal of oversight that we don't have the staff for, and the permit doesn't require it. So I think that was the concerns that were brought forth on the work session, from the engineer and from the attorney that.
So where are they leaning? Are they gonna stick with the more stringent, local, or are they
We're
gonna go
open.
to the federal?
It's open to discussion. Okay? It's open to discussion. The federal government wants to be more. The towns and municipalities can be more, less or more restrictive. Ours is 15,000, which is common. An acre of land being destroyed, you build a house, you destroy the whole thing. You gotta get stormwater management, that doesn't make sense. Yet, we got house lots that are much smaller, 15,000 square feet, same thing. Okay, so it depends. There's a lot of issues regarding what zoning, what regulations are required each municipality around.
That's the work in progress. You're still working on it.
It's work in progress.
It's, I've got a finished document that NRPC, CEI, agree on. Let's see where the planning board comes out tomorrow night. We are running out of time.
What's the deadline on that?
June 30.
This is not uncommon to be
And then,
that.
what's the fine if we don't hear?
That I do not know.
We don't
That
know what it
up
is.
to
We don't
the-
wanna know.
that is up
Let's
to
get it
the-
done.
Well, we have
Most cases we
we have
don't.
paid a fine in the past because we weren't able to meet the requirements.
Need to get it done.
most cases in this kind of stuff, when you get into disturbance and everything else, it's not as bad as it may sound. Okay, like the EPA wants this, but if the town is working on this thing, it's a little more restricted. We're at 15,000 square feet instead of an acre.
Well,
Okay,
what does that do for our costs, though? Does that change our costs?
shouldn't change our cost.
Well, you have more items going to the planning, you have more oversight that's required by the
Correct.
road agent, you have more.
I agree with that.
It's just a lot more oversight.
So it's
that
more
you don't
internal.
require.
It's more internal, not external.
Right, but internal is cost.
True, but it's part of the job. That's what I'm saying, okay?
Well,
Tomorrow night, I'll look at this more. Okay. I know I dealt with stormwater. I just dealt with a situation just recently in a town that I work part-time in, where a local contractor dredged out a retention basin, okay? Doing so, it's an old retention basin. It was for Market Basket in Milford, where they had a retention basin for stormwater. Over the period of years, it builds up. Stormwater did not go as much because of beavers and everything else. They're dead. But the bottom line is they had to cleanse the basin out for the stormwater to work. Doing so, it invited every bird watcher in town, and it's made the news, okay, in Milford. But what they did was legal, okay? It just done not to some groups, okay? It was done in the winter. No, the birds wouldn't be bothered by it.
So I think some of our concern is that, and this is kind of a lead off. So we had asked for that other highway worker because this is a significant project now, the cleaning and the documenting
Oh.
of all the catch basins. This is required. We have to report. I think the last fine was a lack of a
I
reporting.
believe so too, yeah.
And so, and the machinery to clean
Oh, I know.
the catch is significantly more in cost now.
Yep.
So, do we really want to put even more upon us? That is an external cost, the cost of the machinery to clean these. So, Mr. Brown is going to, he has already hired one seasonal worker. We expect to hire 2 more because we need them right now
Stormwater
to
management.
finish this project of handling all these catch basins. There is the line item in the budget for 15,000 and change. We'll use that between now and September 1st to get all this work done.
In response to that, Kim, stormwater is a seasonal management thing, as we all know, because you're dealing with winter. You can't do much in the winter around here. So your springtime help and your summer help is going to cleanse the basins because of rodents, I'll call them. Okay? They don't taste as good. But I'm just saying, okay, that's the next step, okay? I concur, but it's a seasonal type project. The stormwater that I was involved with every summer, every spring and summer and fall. When I worked over where I did that management. I had to go around with the highway department, check things out, and we were fine, okay? But it required a group to come in during that time period to do the cleansing of these stormwater concerns. And then Mother Nature is another factor we have to deal with.
Can you remind me on the SIP, this implementation of this whole MS, what is this called?
Yeah.
How much does that cost the town so far? Well, I don't know if, I don't want to go pull a number out, but
No,
we're
don't.
tracking it, and now it looks like we're gonna have later costs, right?
We are, and we know that next year it's significant, it's almost to the tune of $75,000.
You've got it, and the federal government's imposing this on us.
Right, so
It's an
that's what I'm saying,
unfunded
we're tax cap, we're gonna hit it even though we had the 5% increase, whatever,
Got it.
right? So, but you've already spent money implementing so far, or at least wages and everything going forward, right?
Yes,
You got it.
we
So
have.
it's coming.
It's
But
coming.
But it's required.
Right, we've already, it's been about $20,000, and then we had, for the contractor to work through these, ordinance changes, and to assist with the stormwater permit for this year, then on top of that, we had a $30,000 grant from New Hampshire DES for the building of the stormwater asset management program that they're putting all this data into.
Yep.
So that was a grant.
The 75,000 is gonna be every year? Or no? Or is it looking at?
I would say.
I
it's
would
gonna
have to
get-
come down.
It's going to get worse because after this, you have another permit that's coming out, right? We're still trying to get up to speed to the 2017 permit. Then there's another permit that's going to come out, and we've already been told that Litchfield's permit area is expanding.
So
How?
I'm not gonna say anything popular
Because
right
of the
now.
construction, okay?
Yes.
Does it get passed on to,
We have the large two
It's a bad
construction
thing to
projects
say,
that are going
but-
on right now.
does it get passed on to developers, some of this cost? Not a popular question, but I,
No,
okay, so it's a
Oh,
town
really a
bill.
town cost.
Yeah.
Again, more of a planning, that's all I'm asking.
I
Okay.
understand what
All
you're
right.
saying.
I wish it was.
I wish it was defrayed
Yes,
a little
maybe
bit.
something we could think about, but I don't.
Putting on my budget committee hat, that would be something that several members of the committee would state, that if it's an increase in cost for the town because of the development, it should probably be passed on to the developer.
Or to the state, who is part of
Well,
the
it's an
process.
unfunded mandate.
Right,
So
and
there's
there's
no
where the
money.
process lies from, okay?
Yeah.
I agree with Bob on that, whether it goes to the developer, but it also goes to the owners as well in that development. So it's affecting not only them, the tenants, but it's also affect, so it's a government thing requiring something that it's already in place. Stormwater has already been approved.
Yes, it has. But
Okay.
no money accompanies it.
Correct.
Right, and remembering that the town can only assess fees that are, approved by RSA. It'd be interesting, though, to look to see if we can research whether there are any towns or existing RSAs that allow us to charge back stormwater issues on developers.
Or the state.
Could it be part of impact fees, though? Just put it as an impact
The
fee
state's a
schedule?
dead end.
I have no-
I'm just saying,
I
Bob,
don't know.
okay?
That's gonna be greeted by have a nice day.
I know, but
Looked
I'm
into
just being
that.
They'll
practical.
just pass it on.
I know they
They
will.
will. Again,
Well,
I'm
at the end of the day, whoever
developers,
loses there
I
is
get it.
getting, is paying the bill. So-
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. Okay.
June 27th and September 5th are the technical sessions on the Pennachuck
Okay.
consolidation,
Okay.
which doesn't quite meet the timeline we were hoping. We are hoping they would be much sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So is that by design?
I'm
Probably.
hoping
I'll touch
June
that one.
5th gives us a lot of information. And hopefully helps to point us in a direction.
Okay. Well, you keep us up to date on
June
that.
27th, sorry. June 12th, 13th and 14th, I'm at the Municipal Managers Conference.
Enjoy your time.
And it has a really good selection this year of information, so. On the town website is a area to submit requests, for
Calendar
community
events.
calendar.
Yep.
So, I've had some inquiries on that already. I had a problem putting together the correspondence, so I know I'm supposed to put together the correspondence, per your bylaws, but I don't think all the correspondence is coming through the Board of Selectmen
Mailer.
mail.
No.
So I just want to put that out there. I don't want it to say that I missed something.
No, you
But-
can only put out what you have.
Yes.
So-
This is
So
what I got.
I think if there are boards and commissions that are submitting things to the Board of Selectmen, they should be asked to send it to the Board of Selectmen
Correct.
email address.
Not individual.
Not
Right,
individually.
not in it. Yeah, because I won't be able.
And the IT person will be able to follow up to make sure it gets to where it's gotta go.
If it gets sent there, it's gonna go
If
there.
it gets sent, again, you
Yeah.
can only deal with what you have.
I'm just saying,
Right.
John, you know what I'm saying, as it comes to the process.
Yep.
Anything to do with a computer, it's like put
Well, I would think,
snowflakes.
I would think there would be a good practice that if we receive something, let's call it from the public, I think committees are a little more tougher, but, because we're part of the committee DLs anyway.
Right.
So it's really public record already, but it's not even directed to, let's say for me, for example, it's a general committee update, like, there's a meeting at the rec commission with these 5 topics. I don't know if that's warrants to put on this list. But if someone sends me or sends any of us from a public, a concern or a question, I think it's fair for you to respond, but it also probably be fair just to give us an FYI. This way it could be tagged, and we know that it happened, and it also brings everybody on the same page. I don't know if that would, I think that would probably help. I do worry about the committee part, because I'm part of the conservation, and every work thing they do, an update comes off in that form, which is part of our form database anyway, it's already there. But I don't think I could send you 40 emails that okay, thank you. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, so I think we need to probably forward stuff to Kim that should go on the record, right? Obviously.
Yeah. I agree.
Especially concerns, comments, yeah, you're doing a great job, no, you're not doing a good job, kind of stuff should come our way, so we all can be educated. If that makes sense.
And then we do have a paving RFP out there, June 19th, the deadline.
And nothing so
And
far.
We've received nothing.
Okay.
So what do we do with the funds that are in our budget for that?
I think the selectmen could escrow them.
Escrow them, as in, like,
Save them for next year.
Save-
reimburse, for encumbered?
Yeah.
I thought we couldn't encumbered without a actual invoice. You could encumber for deferment of next year, but then again, it's the same, now we're a year behind,
Yeah, we are a year behind,
so.
but if we don't have any, this is serious, because, I don't see any proposals coming in.
And we reached out to all the normal suspects, and we've been told no, or they just not responding.
I think there's some concern that, the town for a long time has gone with this one contractor, and.
Yep.
So, Road Agent Brown and I will continue to work on it, and we're gonna hope for the best. Obviously, we don't wanna delay any paving
Mhm.
within the town. We'll see where we come out, but you're dealing with a window, right? Because you can't pave come cold weather, so you're dealing with a significant amount of
Yeah.
time.
Usually we have most of our paving done before now at this point.
Well, keep us posted what's going on.
They're working on the bridge to Nashua, they're gonna be messed up for a long time. paving.
Well, that has nothing to do with us.
I know, but I'm just saying, all of all.
Just avoid it if you can.
93 North too.
Right. That it? Cool. Up next, we have selectmen reports. Rec Commission, Heritage Commission, Mr. Gannon.
So I missed the last recreation due to death of my father-in-law, but
I'm sorry to hear that.
Secretary Brennan sent me some cliff notes. So they did a cleanup of Sawmill Park and the tennis courts.
Yep.
Repaired one of the tennis nets. They need to move forward on purchasing new tennis nets. Pickleball Association purchased 5 benches for the pickleball courts.
Beautiful.
They voted to accept the gift. Beautification Fund purchased 1, so there is now 6 benches so that people can sit and change shoes or just watch the games. Litchfield Baseball and Softball have invested a lot of funds into improving the infield mix and drainage. They're working on their bylaws to align with the rest of the town. Research and cost of replacement of the damaged slide. And we're trying to schedule some time to do a cleanup of Dara, including the playgrounds, those areas. Actually, we already did a cleanup, sorry. We already did a cleanup. Raked the beach with a tractor. Zach Gath donated his trailer, and we received 3 yards of mulch from Tim's Turf. Thank you, Tim. And that work was already done. Heritage, we had a discussion around the home at the old Dark Hole Stadium, stables. The other conversation is on the semi-quincentennial in 2026. We want to start getting together and trying to figure out what we're going to do for that. There's been some talk on the 1934 school building. And as well as what we mentioned earlier, the ferry site survey and activity going on across the street.
Busy over there.
Yeah.
Can I go next, Bob?
Busy.
Yep.
The planning board, we're meeting tomorrow night. We'll see how things go. We'll go from there. I'm on a short leash tonight. I must say that because I have a medical situation going on at home.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, up next, we have Kim Queenan with capital improvement and economic development.
Okay.
And something else that's not in there.
NRPC. Go in order. Capital Improvement Committee, we meet next June 17th, 6:30 PM here at the community room, I think, over there.
Beautiful.
And I'm not sure MS4 stuff should be on that list. We'll talk about that next week. Economic Development Committee, we had met last week. We just refocused back on the Economic Survey 1 results, just to get everybody back in group. We had 2 people from the public appear for our potential focus group. One committed, I think the other one is on the fence, but hopefully we'll get that person as well. Our next meeting, like I said, will be June 26th. I don't know if I said that. 6:30 PM in the community conference room. We will start to, I hate to say focus, but we're going to look at the focus group and see what we want their next steps to be. But we appreciate them coming forward. NRPC, the next executive committee and full commission meeting is June 19th, 7 PM, 30 Temple Street in Nashua. I know that's a federal holiday, but it doesn't seem to, it only affects federal and state. I just looked it up here quick, but so far it's on for June, is it 19th? Yeah, 19th.
Federal holiday?
30 Temple Street in Nashua.
All right, up next, Energy Committee and
Conservation
Conservation Commission.
and
Mr. Brunel.
emergency. There's been no recent meetings since the last time we met, but Conservation did send me a couple updates for everybody knows. June 6th is the public hearing related to the grants and the purchase of the DeRocher property.
Yep.
So that's at 6:30, right? 6:30 on Thursday. Conservation's been a lot of activity. They've been cleaning a lot of the parks and fields. So I see that every weekend, the crews are out there, Parker Park, Morris Falls, all been cleaned mowed and taken care of and groomed really well. And the last one is, they're still waiting for state approval on the milfoil treatment for Dara Pond, but they're hoping that's gonna start in June or July.
Beautiful.
That's it for me.
I've had folks ask me, how come we can't swim there? I said, you can always swim there.
Just may not like
Come
how,
out,
it's-
take a shower.
yeah, you may not like how it feels.
Milfoil's not dangerous to you.
No, it's not as bad as it seems.
Yeah, so.
No.
Okay. Budget Committee, we met a little while ago. Kim, thank you for answering those questions right off the bat, well, straightening them out. And we don't meet till the end of June, so it's a
Beautiful.
quiet time of year right now.
Nice time.
Yes.
How about the school facilities improvement? I-
And
wa-
school
wa-
facilities,
watch
I missed the last meeting. We meet next week.
that. Beautiful. I was involved with that once.
Yep.
I may go back, sneak in.
And that's it for that. Does anybody have anything else they want to discuss before do we have non-public tonight? We have a non-public? Okay, so we do, right? All right. So, nothing else to do. We will go into a non-public, under RSA 91-A semicolon 3, comma 2, A in parentheses, the dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee, or the disciplining of such employee, or the investigation of any charges against him or her unless the employee affected, one, has a right to a public meeting, and two, requests that the meeting be open, in which case the request shall be granted. And RSA 91-A semicolon 3, comma 2, D in parentheses, consideration of the acquisition, sale, or lease of real or personal property which, if discussed in public, would likely benefit a party or parties whose interests are adverse to those of the general community. We have a motion to go into non-public.
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Brunel.
I'll second it.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, second from Mr. Lynch. I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
Sorry, you didn't see me?
Oh, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. We are now going into non-public at 7:55 PM. Everyone be safe out there. We meet again next Monday on our regular schedule.
Back again next
Wonderful night.
Monday?
Yep.
I probably won't be here because they're coming back from Dartmouth.
Yep.
With a lot of testing done to see if I'm gonna live another year.
Okay.